Hello there, my sons. It's Joshua coming at you today. Hey, how you doing? So, today I want to talk to you about Molech. And what are the fires of Molech? Okay, so back in the ancient times, there was these pagans that worshipped Molech. And some believe it was like a minotaur-looking god. It was like a man with the head of an ox. And they said it was a hollow bronze statue. And they would stoke the bronze statue with fire from the inside, and he would have his hands out like this, and when you gave birth to a child, you would put the baby into the palms of the hand, and it would burn the baby. The baby would die in the hands of Molech, and it would just be scorched alive, and that was a bad thing in the eyes of God. You don't want to burn a baby. You don't want to. Basically, it was back in the day. There was people are afraid to have babies. I mean, it's a huge constraint. There's a lot of issues. You have a baby, you have to provide for them, you have to protect, you have to get more stuff. That's fine. They didn't have abortion back in the day. They didn't have abortion back in the day. And to make themselves feel good about wanting to get rid of a baby, what they would do is they'd say, oh, we're going to dedicate this to our God. We're going to sacrifice this to our God, and our God will bless us because we're giving him our baby. It was a way to justify killing their infants. And so what they would do is they'd set up this ritual, and if they wanted the blessings of their whatever God, then they would put it in there and burn it alive. It was a great way to do it. And from their perspective, it wasn't alive because it has not had conscious thought. It couldn't speak. I believe that in their culture, back in the ancient days, you were not considered alive until you could speak. Once you spoke, then you were alive. Now, it talks about it, and in Leviticus 18:21, it says, thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fires of Molech, neither shall they profane the name of God. I am the Lord. So it's a sin to let your children pass through the fires of Molech. Now, there are some people that say, it's Old Testament, you shouldn't allow it, blah, blah, blah. Like Jesus Christ said, not one jot or tittle shall always pass from Torah. It says it, don't let your children pass through the fires of Molech. But it's like today, it's like, who today sacrifices their children? Nobody sacrifices their children anymore. It's an abomination. Nobody would do that. That's horrible. I'm like, what do you think abortion is? It's the exact same mentality. The only difference is they didn't have the technology to do it as early as they do today. They don't want the responsibility of being parents. So what they do is they have Plan B, or they have birth control pills, or they have an IUD, or they have a Depo-Provera, or whatever it is. I don't care. It's the exact same sin. They don't want to be parents. They want to engage in sexual promiscuity, but they don't want to have the repercussions of that. So they sacrifice their children to Molech, even though they don't. It's not the fact that they're sacrificing it to an idol. It's the fact that they're killing their children. Children are blessed by God. I know this for a fact because you look throughout the Bible, every righteous woman in the Bible that is ever mentioned is righteous because they sought to have children. Like, there's not a single one in there that is not referenced as a righteous woman who was avoiding children. Every single one of them, they are righteous because they were seeking to be mothers. How many women out there today are not seeking to be mothers, or avoiding motherhood, or avoiding having children, or doing whatever it takes to avoid getting pregnant? And if you do get pregnant, how many take Plan B or have an abortion or whatever? It's basically letting your children pass through the fires of Molech. That's the sin. Killing your own offspring. And I'm sorry to say this. If you have a child, that child is not, it's my body, my choice. No, that's not your body. That's not your body. Your uterus maybe, but as soon as it has its own DNA, it has its own body. And if you consider yourself righteous and on any level, you would not allow your children to pass through the fires of Molech. Now, I know we're not scorching our babies, but that's not true, because when you have an abortion, they chop the baby up into pieces in your uterus, suck it out with a freaking vacuum, and they freaking burn it in a bin. I mean, it's the exact same thing. Anyway, I have issues, and everybody is worried about this, that, and the other thing, and nobody is concerned about how many children are dying. How many children are dying? They want to worry about guns, and they want to worry about I don't know, random stuff. I don't get it. But they're not focusing on the one thing that really matters. And that is hundreds and thousands and millions of children that are dying because of birth control. Now, people will be like, oh, but that's my choice. I'm like, yeah, it is your choice, and you can choose to murder your children if you want to. But the point is that if I was standing next door to a person and they were trying to murder their children, I should try to do something. And if I did stop that person from murdering their child, I would be hailed as a hero, right? But in today's society, if I stop a person from committing an abortion, I'm villainized. How does that work? People get so upset. How dare you, tell a woman what she can and cannot do with her body? I'm like, if I was abusive to my wife, if I had a wife, if I was abusive to my wife and somebody stepped in, they would be made a hero. If somebody was abusing my child and they stepped in, that person would be a hero. But when I try to defend those that cannot defend themselves, or a child that cannot defend themselves, then I'm a villain. It's a messed up world. And from a biblical perspective, if a man wishes to be ignorant, you let him be ignorant. Don't care. Those that are of gods are of gods, and those that are of Satan are of Satan. And you can let people live their own lives however they see fit. But I'm going to tell you something. If you want to be righteous, if you want to be godly, you will not prevent birth control. You will not avoid getting pregnant. You will not try to be single if you're a woman. To be a woman, to be a righteous woman is to be a godly mother. And to avoid being a mother is to be a sinner. So anyway, I don't know if this will bless you or not. I hope it does. You guys have a great day. Please live in goodness. You love God. I love God because I love virtue, justice, and salvation. Virtue recently just had a birthday on the 22nd. Congrats to her. Yeah. So anyway, leave a like or share, subscribe, whatever. Comment on the video. And remember, Saturdays, 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We have the live stream. We have the Bible Slam. And this week on the Bible Slam, I'm going to be doing with a good friend of mine. His name is Mark Furler. And we're going to be doing like a dual podcast. Probably have some sort of interactions with each other and reading chat. And so it'll be a lot of fun. Hope you guys see you there. Click the dingy thing. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.